The war was over. Earth had lost. Tay stood in the ruins of Seoul, his rifle hanging loose in his hands. Around him, the city burned. Smoke rose from 1,000 fires. The sky was dark with alien ships. Big ships. Ships so large they blocked out the sun. He was 19 years old. He had been a soldier for only 6 months. Now he was one of the few still alive. "Line up!" Captain Hana shouted. She was tired. Blood stained her uniform. But her voice was still strong. "They want us information." Tay joined the other survivors. There were maybe 200 humans left from the Seoul Defense Force. 200 out of 10,000. The aliens had not needed to kill them all. Once their shields went up, human bullets did nothing. Human missiles exploded uselessly against invisible walls. The alien ships landed. Massive doors opened. Creatures walked out. They looked almost human, but taller. Their skin was pale blue. Their eyes were completely black. No white, no color. Just black dot at the front walked a woman. At least, Tay thought it was a woman. She wore armor that seemed to be made of living metal. It moved with her body. On her head sat a crown of silver light. "That is Queen Vara," Captain Hana whispered. "Leader of the Nura Empire." I saw her face in the broadcasts. Queen Vara walked slowly down the line of human soldiers. She looked at each one. Her face showed no emotion. Behind her walked dozens of guards. Their weapons glowed with strange energy. Tay's brother Jay stood 3 people down from him. Jay was Special Forces. He had killed 17 aliens before their shields adapted. He stood straight and proud, even now. The Queen stopped in front of Jay. She studied him for a long moment. Jay stared back, unafraid. Then she moved on. She walked past decorated soldiers, past commanders, past men and women who had fought for weeks without sleep. She looked at each one and moved on. Then she reached Taedon. He was the youngest person in the line. He had the fewest medals. His uniform was too big for him. He had joined the army because everyone had to fight. There was no choice when aliens invaded your world. Queen Var stopped. Those black eyes looked into his. Tay felt something touch his mind, like fingers brushing against his thoughts. It made him want to step back, but he did not move. "This one," Queen Vara said. Her voice was strange, musical. It seemed to come from everywhere at once. "That human will be mine." She pointed directly at Taedon. The silence was complete. Every human stared. Every alien watched. "What?" Tay said. His voice cracked. "You will come with me," the Queen said. "You will serve at my side. You will be honored above all other humans." "No," Tay said. Captain Hana grabbed his arm. "Tay, don't." I said no. Tay pulled his sidearm from his holster. His hand shook. He pointed it at Queen Vara. The alien guards moved instantly. Energy weapons came up. Shields activated with a hum. But Queen Vara raised one hand. Everyone stopped. She looked at the gun, then at Tay. Then she smiled. "Interesting," she said. "I am not yours," Tay said. The gun felt heavy. He knew it would do nothing. Everyone knew. But he kept it pointed at her anyway. "I belong to no one. You beat us. You won the war. But you do not own me. Lower the weapon, soldier." Someone shouted. Commander Soong pushed through the crowd. He was the highest-ranking officer still alive. "That is an order." Tay did not lower the gun. Queen Vara stepped closer. She moved right up to the barrel of the weapon. Close enough that Tay could not miss. Close enough that he could see his reflection in those black eyes. "Do you know our custom?" She asked quietly. "My people, we claim only the worthy. Only those who show unbreakable spirit. I watched you during the battle. I was there, invisible among your forces. I saw what you did. I fought, Tay said. Like everyone else. No, the Queen said. Not like everyone else. When the towers fell, your unit retreated. It was the right choice. The tactical choice. But you stayed. You pulled civilians from the rubble. You carried children to safety while bombs fell around you. You should have died. You wanted to die, but you would not leave them. Tay remembered. The screaming, the fire, the little girl he had pulled from under a collapsed wall. Her mother who thanked him with tears in her eyes before a blast took them both. They needed help, Tay said simply. Yes, Queen Vara said. They needed help. And you gave it, even though it was foolish. Even though it was suicide. Even though you knew you could not save them all. That is what I saw. That is what I want to understand. She reached out and gently pushed the gun aside. You will come with me, she said again. Not as a slave. As something more. My people have forgotten how to be foolish. How to care more for others than for logic. You will teach us. And if I refuse? Tay asked. Then I will take you anyway, Queen Vara said. But I hope you will not refuse. I hope you will choose this path. For your people. For Earth. She turned to Commander Soong. This human is mine. But I am not cruel. I offer a bargain. He will face 3 trials. If he passes, Earth will receive favorable terms. Autonomy in your own systems. Technology. A voice in the greater galaxy. If he fails... She paused. If he fails, he serves me, and Earth receives only basic protections. That's not fair, Jay shouted. He's just a kid. He's the one I have chosen, Queen Vara said. The bargain is offered. What is your answer, human? Everyone looked at Tay, his brother, his captain, Commander Soong, 200 survivors. They all waited. Tay looked at the alien queen, then at his people. Then he lowered his gun. I accept, he said. For Earth. Queen Vara's smile grew wider. Good. The trials begin tomorrow. Until then, you are my guest. She turned and walked away. Her guards surrounded Tay. They did not touch him. They did not need to. He was surrounded by weapons that could turn him to ash in a second. As they led him toward the alien ships, Tay looked back. Captain Hannah saluted him. Jay looked terrified. But they all watched as the youngest soldier walked into the unknown. The war was over. But Tay's real battle was just beginning. They put Tay in a room. Not a cell. A room. It had a bed, a window, and food waiting on a table. The food looked strange, but it smelled good. He did not eat it. He did not trust it. The window showed the alien ship's interior. Corridors of silver metal. Creatures walking past. Some looked like Queen Vara. Others were completely different. One had 6 arms. Another floated without legs. The galaxy was bigger than Tay had imagined. A knock came at the door. It opened before Tay could answer. A man walked in. Humor. A clean uniform. No blood. No dirt. Commander Soong, Tay said, standing quickly. Sit down, son, Soong said. He looked old. The war had aged him. We don't have much time. They are letting me talk to you for 10 minutes. Tay sat. Soong took the chair across from him. Do you understand what you agreed to? Soong asked. Trials, Tay said. 3 of them. If I pass, Earth gets better terms. If you fail, you become hers, Soong said. Forever. You will be a symbol. A pet. A trophy. Do you understand that? Yes, sir. Then why did you agree? Tay looked at his hands. They were dirty. Still covered in dust from the battle. Because someone had to. Because if there is a chance to help Earth, I have to take it. Soon was quiet for a moment. Then he sighed. You remind me of my son. He died in the first week of the invasion. Brave. Stupid. Just like you. I am sorry, sir. Do not be sorry. Be smart. Soon leaned forward. Listen to me. The Nera do not think like us. I have been speaking with their advisors. They respect strength, but not the kind you think. Not muscles or weapons. They respect will, spirit, the ability to endure. I do not understand. You will, Sung said. Just remember. You are human. We are small. We are weak. But we do not break. Show them that. Show them what humans are made of. The door opened again. An alien stood there. Not Nera. This one was tall and thin, with skin like gray stone. Time is finished, it said. Its voice sounded like gravel. Sung stood. He put a hand on Tay's shoulder. Good luck, soldier. Make us proud. Then he was gone. Tay sat alone again. He finally ate the food. It tasted like nothing he had ever had before. Sweet and sour at the same time. It filled his stomach, but he still felt empty. Hours passed. Maybe a full day. Time felt different on the alien ship. Finally, the door opened again. Queen Vara entered. She wore different clothes now, simpler, a long robe of dark blue. The crown was gone. She looked more human without it. But those black eyes were still alien, still strange. Come, she said. Walk with me. It was not a request. Tay followed her into the corridors. Guards followed behind them, but at a distance. They walked in silence for a while. Your people are angry, Vara said finally. They think I chose you to humiliate them, to show that even your youngest, weakest soldier belongs to me. Is that not why you chose me? Tay asked. No. She stopped walking, turned to face him. I chose you because you are what my people have lost. Tell me, Tay, when you stayed behind to save those civilians, did you think you would survive? No, Tay said honestly. Did you think you would save them all? No. Then why do it? Tay thought about this. How could he explain? Because they needed help. Because I could not leave them. Even if I died. Even if I saved only one. It was the right thing to do. Why? Var asked. Her voice was intense now, focused. Why is it right to throw away your life for strangers? For people you will never see again. My people cannot understand this. We are logical. We calculate. We save the many over the few. We choose survival over sentiment. But you chose death over abandonment. That is what makes us human, Tay said. Vara stared at him for a long time. Then she started walking again. My people have conquered half the galaxy. We are powerful. We are advanced. But we are also dying. Not physically. In our souls. We have forgotten how to care. How to sacrifice. How to be foolish for something greater than ourselves. She led him to a large window. Outside, Earth hung in space. Blue and green and beautiful. I have seen 1,000 species fall, Vara said. Some fought well. Some surrendered quickly. But your people fought without hope. Died for inches of ground. Saved enemies from burning buildings. I watched a human soldier give his last medical supplies to a wounded Nera. He bled out an hour later. Why? Why do you do these things? Because we are human, Tay said again. It was the only answer he had. Vara turned to him. I want to understand. I need to understand. My people are becoming machines. Perfect. Logical. Empty. If we continue this way, we will rule the galaxy, but we will lose ourselves. You will help me remember what we have forgotten. I am not a teacher, Tay said. I am just a soldier. You are human, Vara said. That is enough. Now, About the trials. They will not be easy. The first begins tomorrow. It will test your body. The second will test your mind. The third will test your soul. Many have tried. All have failed. What happens if I fail? You become mine, Vara said simply. You will live in my palace. Advise my counsels. Show my people what humanity means. You will be treated well, honored, but you will never return to Earth. And if I pass all three, then I will give Earth everything I promised. And I will give you a choice. Stay with me anyway, or return home. Tay looked at Earth through the window. Somewhere down there, Jay was waiting. Captain Ha, his friend Yuna, if she still lived. Everyone he had ever known. I will pass, he said. Vara almost smiled. We shall see. Rest tonight. Tomorrow, you face the first trial. It is broken soldiers twice your age and 3 times your size. She walked away, leaving Tay alone at the window. He pressed his hand against the glass. Earth looked so close. So far, I will pass, he whispered to himself. I have to. Outside, stars glittered in the endless dark. Somewhere out there, entire civilizations lived and died. Wars were fought. Peace was made. And one young human prepared to face the impossible, not for glory, not for honor, but because someone had to, because that was what humans did. The first trial began at dawn, or what passed for dawn on the alien ship. They took Tay to a transport. Inside sat a woman, human. She had scars on her face and arms. Her eyes were hard. I am Myra, she said. I was a resistance fighter, captured 3 months ago. They asked me to train you. I said no. Then they told me if you pass, Earth gets a better deal. So here I am. What is the first trial? Tay asked. Survival, Myra said. They are dropping you on a planet. High gravity. Toxic atmosphere. Predators. You have to survive for 72 hours. No weapons. No food. Just you. Tay's stomach dropped. How do I prepare? You do not, Myra said. You just try not to die. The planet was worse than he imagined. The moment he stepped out of the transport, the gravity crushed him to his knees. Everything felt 3 times heavier. His bones ached. His muscles screamed. The air burned his throat. He could breathe it, but barely. Each breath hurt. The transport flew away, leaving him alone. Tay stood slowly. Every movement was agony. Around him stretched a jungle of strange plants. Purple leaves. Black vines. Things that moved when he was not looking. He needed water first. Then shelter. Then fire. Water was easy. The plants were full of liquid. He cut one open with a sharp rock. The liquid inside was thick and green. He tasted it carefully. Sweet, not poisonous. He drank. Shelter took longer. He found a cave, small, dark, but it would protect him from the wind and rain. He gathered branches and built a wall at the entrance. Fire was impossible. Everything was too wet. He tried for hours. Failed. He would have to survive without it. The first night, something came to the cave. Big, heavy footsteps. It sniffed at the entrance. Tested his wall of branches. Tay held a sharp stick and waited. The creature left eventually, but it would return. The second day, hunger hit him hard. He found fruits on some trees. Ate them carefully. One made him sick. He vomited for an hour. Learned. Adapted. He fell many times. The gravity made everything difficult. Walking. Standing. Even thinking. But each time, he got back up. The second night, 3 creatures came. Smaller than the first. Faster. They broke through his wall. Tay fought them with rocks and sticks. They cut him. Bit him. But he did not run. He defended his shelter. Eventually, they left. On the third day, he could barely move. His body was broken, bruised, bleeding, but he was still alive. When the transport came to pick him up, Mira looked surprised. "You survived," she said. "Barely," Tay whispered. "That is enough." They gave him 1 day to recover. Then came the second trial. This time, they led him to an arena. 3 Mira warriors waited there. Each wore armor. Each carried weapons. They were trained, professional, deadly. "You will fight them one at a time," Queen Vara said from above. She sat on a throne, watching. Non-lethal combat. But they will not hold back. They had no armor, no weapons, just his tired body. The first warrior attacked immediately. Fast, strong. Tay dodged, barely. A fist caught him in the ribs. He felt something crack. He went down. The warrior stood over him, ready to finish it. But Tay had noticed something. The arena floor was sand. Loose sand. He kicked sand into the warrior's eyes. The warrior stumbled back, blinded. Tay swept his legs. The warrior fell. Tay did not stop. He grabbed the warrior's arm and twisted until the warrior tapped out. The crowd of watching aliens murmured, surprised. The second warrior was smarter. She did not get close. She used her weapon, a staff. She kept Tay at a distance. Hit him again and again. Tay could not reach her, could not fight her directly. So he changed tactics. He ran around the arena. The warrior chased. Tay led her near the wall. At the last second, he jumped, pushed off the wall, flipped over her, landed behind her. Before she could turn, he grabbed the staff and pulled. She lost balance. They wrestled. She was stronger. But Tay was desperate. He used her own weapon against her, locked it across her throat until she tapped out. The third warrior was the best. He did not fall for tricks, did not chase, did not get angry. He simply fought. Perfect technique. Perfect control. Tay lasted 2 minutes. Then the warrior put him on the ground, locked his arm. Tay could not escape, could not move. "Yield," the warrior said. Tay tried to escape. Failed. Tried again. His shoulder was about to break. "Yield," the warrior repeated. "No." Tay gasped. The warrior increased pressure. Pain exploded through Tay's arm. He screamed, but did not yield. Finally, Queen Vara stood. "Enough, release him." The warrior let go. Tay lay on the sand, gasping. "Beaten. You lost," Vara said. "I know," Tay said, "but you passed." Tay looked up, confused. "Victory is not always in winning," Vara said. "It is in fighting beyond reason, beyond pain. You would have let him break your arm rather than surrender. That is what I needed to see." They carried Tay to the medical bay, fixed his injuries, gave him another day to rest. Then came the third trial. This one was different. No planet, no fighting, just a room. And a question. Vara sat across from Tay. Between them was a hologram. It showed 2 groups of people. One group had 10 humans. The other had 2. The 2 were people Tay knew. His brother Jay, his friend Yuna. "This is an old Nira puzzle," Vara said. "A ship is failing. You can only save 1 group. 10 strangers. Or 2 people you love. Which do you choose?" Tay stared at the hologram, at Jay's face, at Yuna's smile. "This is the wisdom trial," Vara continued. "There is no right answer. Only your answer. Choose." Tay thought for a long time. He thought about logic, about numbers, about what made sense. Then he looked at Vara. "I refuse the question." "Excuse me?" This puzzle assumes I have to choose, Tay said. But I do not. A human does not choose between lives. A human finds a way to save everyone, or dies trying. That is the answer. Not 10 or 2. All 12. Or none, Vara blinked. That is not how the puzzle works. I do not care, Tay said. You asked for my answer. That is it. Humans do not calculate lives. We do not choose who deserves to live. We fight to save everyone, even when it is impossible. Especially when it is impossible. The room was silent. Then Vara started to laugh. It was a strange sound, like she had forgotten how. 1,000 years, she said. For 1,000 years, my people have asked this question. Every answer was 10 or 2. You are the first to reject the question itself. Did I fail? Tay asked. No, Vara said, still smiling. You passed. You passed all 3 trials. You did the impossible. Tay felt relief wash over him. Then Earth will receive everything I promised, Vara said. You have earned it. For the first time since the invasion, Tay allowed himself to hope. They held a ceremony. Aliens from across the galaxy attended. Nira, others, species Tay had never seen. They all came to watch the human who passed the trials. Tay stood on a platform. Below him, thousands watched. Commander Sung was there. Captain Hana. Jay stood in the front row, grinning with pride. Queen Vara stood beside Tay. She wore her crown again. Her armor shined. This human has passed all 3 trials, she announced. Her voice echoed through the hall. He has earned Earth's freedom, autonomy, technology, a seat on the Galactic Council. This is my gift to humanity. The crowd erupted. Humans cheered. Aliens watched with interest. It was done. Earth had won something from defeat, but Vara raised her hand. Silence fell. However, she said, I have one more offer. Tay's heart sank. There was always more. Always another condition. Tay, Vara said, turning to him. You have proven yourself beyond measure. I ask you now, stay with me. Be my advisor. My voice of humanity. Teach my people what you have shown me. The crowd murmured. Shocked. If I refuse? Tay asked quietly. Then you go home, Vara said. No punishment. No shame. You have earned your freedom. But I ask you to consider. Not for me. For the future. Tay looked at his people. Jay's hopeful face. Hannah's concern. Sung's careful neutrality. They all waited for his answer. I need to think, Tay said. Take your time, Vara said. But not too long. The galaxy does not wait. After the ceremony, they gave Tay a room. A better one. Larger. With a real window showing Earth. He sat there for hours, staring at his home. A knock came. Tay expected Sung or Jay, but it was Vara who entered. She was alone. No guards, no crown. Just the woman underneath. May I sit? She asked. Tay nodded. They sat in silence for a while. Then Vara spoke. I need to tell you the truth, she said. The real reason I chose you. Tay waited. During the battle for Seoul, I was there, Vara said. Not in a ship. On the ground. We can become invisible when we choose. I walked among your soldiers. I wanted to understand how humans fight. She stood and walked to the window. I watched your unit retreat. It was the right choice. Tactical. Smart. But you stayed. You pulled people from the rubble. I watched you carry a child to safety. Then you went back. Again. And again. Bombs fell around you. Buildings collapsed. You should have died a dozen times. Vara turned to face him. Her black eyes shimmered. I am telepathic, Tay. Did you know that? I can feel emotions, thoughts, When I was close to you, I felt something I had never felt before. Certainty. Absolute certainty. You knew you would die. You wanted to live. But you would not abandon those people. Not for anything. Not for survival. Not for logic. Not for all the reasons my people would have left. She sat back down. In that moment, I felt what my people have lost. We used to be like you. Thousands of years ago. We cared. We sacrificed. We died for strangers. But we grew advanced, logical. We learned to calculate. To choose the many over the few. To survive at any cost. And you won the galaxy, Tay said. Yes, Vara said. We won everything. But we lost ourselves. Our children are born and taught to be perfect, logical, efficient. They do not play. They do not dream. They do not cry for someone else's pain. We are becoming machines in living bodies. She looked at her hands. I am 500 years old, Tay. I have seen civilizations rise and fall. And I am afraid. Afraid that when my people finally conquer everything, we will look around and realize there is nothing left worth having. Because we will have forgotten how to care. Why me? Tay asked. Why not Jay or Hannah? Or someone smarter? Because you are not a warrior, Vara said. You are not a hero. You are just a boy who could not leave people to die. That is more powerful than all the warriors and heroes in the galaxy. Because it is pure, uncalculated. You did not save those people for glory, or strategy, or because someone ordered you. You did it because they needed help. That is what I need to remember. What my people need to see. Tay was quiet for a long time. Then he asked, what if I cannot teach you? What if humans are just different? What if you cannot learn to care again? Then at least I will have tried, Vara said. And maybe, seeing you, some of my people will remember what we used to be. Maybe one child will see you and choose to be foolish, to be kind, to sacrifice for no reason. That would be enough. She stood to leave. At the door, she paused. I do not want to own you, Tay. I do not want a pet or a trophy. I want a friend. Someone who will tell me when I am wrong. When I am becoming too much like a machine. Someone who will show me how to be more than logical. Can you be that? Tay thought about it. About going home. About living a normal life. About forgetting the war and the trials and everything that happened. But he also thought about what Vara said. About an entire species forgetting how to care. About children raised to be perfect and empty. I will give you my answer tomorrow, Tay said. Vara nodded and left. That night, Jay came to visit. They talked for hours. About the war. About their parents who died in the first attacks. About what would happen next. Whatever you choose, Jay said before leaving. I am proud of you. You saved Earth. That is enough. But was it? Tay wondered. Was saving Earth enough? Or was there something more he could do? He stood at the window and looked at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Nira Empire stretched across thousands of worlds. Billions of people. All of them losing their ability to care. To sacrifice. To be foolish for something greater than themselves. One human could not change an empire. One human could not teach an entire species to care again. But maybe one human could. Tay made his decision. Tomorrow he would give Vara his answer. And it would change everything. Morning came. Tay stood before Queen Vara in her throne room. The room was empty except for them. She had dismissed her guards, her advisors, everyone. What is your answer? Vara asked. I will stay, Tay said, but not as your advisor, and not alone. Vara tilted her head. Explain. Earth will join the Nira Empire, Tay said, but as equals, not subjects. Humans will serve in your military. We will share our knowledge, our way of thinking, and you will share your technology, your protection. We will learn from each other. Bold, Vara said. But there is a problem. The Korath Dominion. She waved her hand. A hologram appeared. It showed a fleet of dark ships. Thousands of them. The Korath are our rivals, Vara explained. They see Earth's defiance as dangerous. They want to make an example of you, to show other species what happens when you resist. If I protect Earth alone, it means war. Galactic war. Billions will die. Tay felt cold. So Earth is still doomed. Not necessarily, Vara said. If Earth joins us truly, not as a conquered world, but as a partner, then you are under my protection by law. The Korath cannot touch you without declaring war on the entire Nira Empire. They will not risk that. Then what is the problem? Tay asked. The problem is my council, Vara said. They will never accept humans as equals. You are primitive, weak. You have nothing to offer except this. Foolishness you call courage. Tay smiled. Then we show them what this foolishness can do. Before Vara could ask what he meant, alarms blared. Red lights flashed. An aide rushed in. Your Majesty, Korath ships have entered the system. They are demanding we surrender Earth, or they will attack. Vara stood quickly. How many ships? 20 warships. They are moving into position around Earth. Tay's heart raced. My people are evacuating to shelters, Vara said. But it will not matter. 20 Korath warships can destroy a planet. We have only 5 ships here. Not enough. Then we make them enough, Tay said. He turned to the aide. Contact Earth. Get me Commander Sung and Captain Hana and every resistance fighter still alive. Tell them to prepare. Prepare for what? Vara asked. For humans to show you what we do best, Tay said. We fight impossible odds. An hour later, Tay stood on the bridge of Vara's flagship. On the screen, the Korath fleet loomed, dark, menacing. Deadly. Commander Sung's voice came through the communicator. Tay, we have 200 fighters left, mostly damaged. No shields. These Korath ships will tear us apart. I know, Tay said. But we do not need to win. We just need to hold them until nearer reinforcements arrive. Reinforcements will take 3 hours, Vara said quietly. You will be dead in 1. Then we hold for 1 hour, Tay said. He turned to Sung. Tell every pilot, every soldier, this is not about winning. This is about showing the galaxy what humans are. We fight. We die. But we do not surrender. Silence on the line. Then Sung laughed. It was a tired sound, but also proud. Just like always, understood. All fighters, prepare to launch. The Korath commander appeared on screen. A massive creature with 4 arms and red eyes. Surrender the planet. Last warning. No, Vara said simply. Then you die with them. The Korath ships opened fire. What happened next would be told across the galaxy for generations. Human fighters, tiny and fragile, swarmed the Korath warships. They had no shields, no powerful weapons, but they had pilots who did not fear death. They flew between Korath ships, forcing them to hold fire or hit each other. They crashed damaged fighters into weapon systems, sacrificing themselves to disable enemy guns. On the ground, resistance fighters fired missiles at Korath landing craft. Humans with nothing but rifles stood against alien soldiers in powered armor. They fell by the dozens, but they did not run. Tay coordinated from the bridge. He sent fighters where they were needed most. Called in Nira support fire. Watched humans die on the screens. 50 minutes in, only 30 human fighters remained. The Korath were pushing through. Earth shields were failing. Then something unexpected happened. Other species started helping. A merchant ship rammed a Korath cruiser. A civilian transport used its shields to protect human fighters. Aliens who had watched the battle, who had seen humans die for their world, could not stay neutral anymore. "This is stupid," one alien captain said over the open channel. "Completely illogical. I am joining anyway." More ships came. Not many, not enough. But they came. Vara watched in amazement. "They are inspired by you. By this foolishness." At the 58-minute mark, nearer reinforcements arrived. Fresh ships, full weapons. The Korath fleet retreated, damaged and confused. Earth was saved, but the cost was heavy. 170 human pilots died. Thousands of resistance fighters. The ground was littered with bodies. Tay stood on the bridge, watching the casualty reports. He felt sick. Vara put a hand on his shoulder. "They died as heroes. They died because I asked them to," Tay said. "No," Vara said. "They died because they were human. Because when faced with impossible odds, your species does not calculate survival. You fight. That is what I saw today. That is what the whole galaxy saw." She turned to her council, who had watched the entire battle. "You asked what humans can offer. This is it, not technology, not resources, heart, the willingness to fight for others, to die for strangers. Our empire has forgotten this. We need to remember." The council was silent. Then, one by one, they nodded. 3 months later, Tay stood in the same throne room. But now, human flags hung beside Nera banners. Human soldiers trained with Nera warriors. The first joint human-alien military unit in history. Earth had autonomy, technology, respect, and Tay had a new role. Not advisor, not pat, but ambassador, friend, teacher. Vara approached him. "Do you regret staying?" Tay thought about Jay, who now commanded a joint unit. About Captain Hana, who led the human delegation. About Yuna, who worked in the new Earth Nera research facility. "No," he said. "This is where I need to be." "Good," Vara said. "Because a new threat has emerged in the Outer Rim. And they have asked specifically for the human who said no to a queen." Tay smiled. "Then let us show them what humans can do." Together, they walked toward the future. Human and alien. Different. Equal. And across the galaxy, other species watched and wondered. If humans could change the mighty Nera Empire, what else was possible? The answer, Tay knew, was anything. Because humans did not calculate odds. They did not surrender to logic. They fought. They cared. They died for each other. And that, in the end, was the most powerful force in the universe.